This man was once a child soldier in Sudan. Today, he's a lawyer in Sydney fighting for justice. This boy arrived on a fishing boat from Vietnam. Today, he's one of Australia's most loved comedians. This woman's mother migrated from the Philippines. Today, she co-founded Canva, worth billions, used worldwide. These are the real stories of migration in Australia. And yet, on August 31st, some will march in anger, claiming migration is a threat. But here's the truth. Migration is not Australia's weakness, it's our greatest strength. Every 1,000 new migrants grow the economy by about $124 million a year. That's Treasury's own number. Migrants start businesses, employ locals, and build industries. Frank Lowy came here as a refugee. He built Westfield, creating jobs for tens of thousands. And migrants pay more in taxes than they consume in services. They arrive young, ready to work, funding pensions, hospitals, and schools long before they retire. But it's not just jobs and taxes. More people means more consumers. Migrants rent homes, buy groceries, and support local shops. They expand demand, keeping businesses from corner cafes to big supermarkets thriving. Many also build trade links back to their countries of origin, helping Aussie exporters reach new markets. Migration doesn't drain Australia, it fuels growth, jobs, and demand, fair dinkum prosperity. Over 40% of nurses and carers are migrants. About half of all new doctors trained overseas. More than half of our engineers were born abroad. On farms, nearly a quarter of fruit and veg is picked by migrant workers. Without them, the food would rot in fields. And migrants don't take jobs from locals. The OECD found migration actually creates jobs for Australians and doesn't depress wages. When the population grows by 1% through migration, jobs for Australian-born workers increase by 0.5%. In Hill, Victoria, Karen refugees filled jobs at a duck farm. They created 70 new jobs, added $40 million to the economy, and filled classrooms and footy teams again. Migrants don't steal jobs, they keep Australia running, healing us, building us, feeding us, and sparking new work for locals. Australia is aging. Our median age is now 38 and rising. Our fertility rate is at record lows. Without migration, our workforce would shrink and pensions would be unsustainable. Migrants arrive younger with families. Their children fill classrooms today and workplaces tomorrow. Between 2000 and 2021, about 15% of permanent migrants were health professionals or carers, exactly the workers we'll need as the population ages. As Treasury warns, without migration, Australia risks stagnation. With it, we balance the scales. Migrants aren't just today's workers, they're tomorrow's taxpayers, carers, and community builders. Nearly half of Australians are migrants or children of migrants. That's our reality. Our indigenous peoples are the world's oldest continuous culture. On top of those ancient roots, migration has added layer upon layer. Italian, Greek, Vietnamese, Indian, Chinese, Lebanese, Sudanese. We're one of the most successful multicultural societies on earth, admired globally for it. From pho to falafel to pizza, our food is world class because it comes from the world. From Diwali lights to lunar dragons, from Greek Glendy to Eid feasts, our streets come alive with celebration. And all of it fits under the Aussie values of mateship and the fair go. Multiculturalism doesn't threaten Aussie identity. In fact, it is an Aussie identity. International students add $30 billion a year to our economy, our fourth largest export. Some universities might not even survive without them. They keep campuses alive, staff employed, and entire suburbs buzzing. And many stay on. International graduates become Aussie doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs. Those who return home carry goodwill. Some become future leaders, creating soft power networks that Australia benefits from for decades. Education isn't just dollars, it's influence, skills, and future leaders who see Australia as home. 1 in 3 startups in Australia has a migrant founder. Take Canva, co-founded by Melanie Perkins, daughter of a Filipina immigrant. From Perth, she built a $40 billion design company used worldwide. Migrants also drive innovation in science. An OECD study found that a 1% increase in educated migrants leads to nearly 5% more patents. That's innovation directly tied to migration. Historic breakthroughs, from Wi-Fi to the bionic ear, came from diverse teams, often powered by migrant researchers. Migrants don't just join industries, they create them, inventing the jobs and technologies of the future. Half our new doctors are trained overseas. More than 40% of nurses and carers are migrant born. In rural Australia, many towns would have no GP at all without overseas trained doctors. During COVID, migrant nurses worked double shifts to keep hospitals open. In aged care, Filipino, Indian, and Pacific carers treat our elders like family. Australia also saves money by welcoming trained professionals. In just 5 years, recruiting overseas doctors saved about $1.7 billion in medical training costs. Migrants don't burden our healthcare system. They are the system's backbone. Refugees arrive with nothing, but often give back the most. Deng Adut, child soldier, now Sydney lawyer. Ayendo, refugee boy, now beloved comedian. Majak Daw, Sudanese migrant, AFL trailblazer. Les Murray, Hungarian refugee, voice of Australian soccer. Nasir Sobhani, Iranian migrant, the streets barber, giving free haircuts to the homeless. Studies show refugees are nearly twice as likely to start businesses as other Australians. And maybe most importantly, refugees don't take Australia for granted. They often become its most loyal citizens because they know what it means to lose a home. Giving people a fair go doesn't weaken us. It creates some of the proudest, most inspiring Australians of all. When a few march in hate, the real Australia speaks louder. Our leaders have spoken. Multicultural Affairs Minister Dr. Anne Alley said, "Multiculturalism is an integral part of our national identity. This far-right activism has no place in modern Australia." Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke was blunt. Nothing could be less Australian than these rallies. Our cultural voices have spoken. Podcaster Abby Chatfield told migrants, "Please know you are welcome here. These protests should be condemned by every Australian." Community leaders have spoken. Joe Caputo of FECCA reminded us, refugees historically have added so much to this country. Reports like this dispel the myths. And Indigenous leaders have spoken, reminding us that apart from First Nations peoples, all of us come from migrants. To stand against migration is to deny our very history. And everyday Aussies have spoken. Farmers in Hill said Karen refugees saved our town. Locals post online, "I love how my suburb has changed. New restaurants, new mates, new life." This is the real Australia. Leaders, storytellers, elders, and everyday people standing together for unity. I want to finish with something personal. You see, I'm not just telling you these facts and stories as an observer. I myself am an immigrant. I've lived in 4 countries around the world and I've loved each one of them for different reasons. And Australia is no different. In fact, it's truly special to me. This country welcomed me, gave me opportunities, and inspired me to give back. When I say migrants love Australia and work to make it better, I'm speaking from my own heart and experience. Just look at what I do here on my YouTube channel. Every week I celebrate Aussie brands and Australian stories, from Vegemite to Qantas, from Bunnings to Canva. I didn't grow up with these icons, but I've embraced them because I want to shine a light on how amazing Australia really is. I love sharing these stories with both locals and the world, showing how Australian innovation and culture can inspire everyone. In my day job, I work in senior marketing roles, helping Aussie consumers connect with the right products, supporting businesses to grow, and the economy to thrive. In my own small way, I'm contributing to the Australian story because I believe in it. I believe in the promise of this country, and I am not alone. There are thousands upon thousands of immigrants just like me. We are running startups, teaching at schools, serving in the military, creating art, healing patients, building homes, driving trucks, everything. We cheer for Australia at the Olympics and cry at the last post on Anzac Day. We volunteer in our communities. We pay taxes and celebrate holidays and learn the slang. We may speak with an accent or celebrate cultural festivals you're not familiar with, but we are here as part of Australia, not apart from it. We're here to contribute, to build, and to see Australia reach new heights of prosperity and success. That's the Australia worth marching for.